Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along once again to the world-famous Third and Long podcast, Monday edition, Week 15 wrap-up. I am, of course, the incomparable Shane Harris. Above me is my beautiful baby Hope. Top left is the OG of the podcast, Mr. Oliver Butler Henderson. And to my right, wait, he's going to think he's not eating anything today, Mr. Philip Perrins. Gentlemen, how are we? I'll start with Mr. P first. How was your weekend, my old friend?
It was all right. I pulled my back out, which severely hindered me doing absolutely anything. I literally couldn't move. And I think it was because I was just devastated that the 49ers played that badly on Thursday Night Football. But then Newcastle United made up for it, and the curse continues in our household and in our life. But it's actually fun. I actually am preparing to eat a mince pie, courtesy of Co-op. With my can of Coca-Cola, zero sugar.
Is that the Co-op I've been to by your house? Where I got my box of cans from? Yeah, I know where it is.
Yeah, they're still there. I haven't touched them.
No. What I mean to say is that the Co-op I went to when I came over to you and bought my cans
yes,
from.
sorry, mate. Yes, sorry. I didn't understand you then from that thick Welsh accent that came out of nowhere. Yes.
Wait, it's been years, boy.
No, the cans are still there in my garage. It's just chilling. Just waiting for you to chill.
I'll have them January. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the $1 million man, Oliver Hope, the world's luckiest man. How's things, my old buddy?
How am I the $1 million man?
Because you
Everyone's got a prize. Everyone's got a prize.
Oh, mine's $1 million. Yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to Christmas now.
My $1 million. Yeah, that's not that old thing. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas.
Good, bud. Good. OBH, how's things, bud? You all right?
Yeah, just busy spamming people. It's fine.
Oh, you can't help yourself, can you?
I'm not going to go into, but anyone who's seen our socials know what's going on. And yeah, someone's making themselves look very foolish. And that's all.
Well, it's not Shane.
Yeah, I know it's not me. It's not me. Speaking of sports results for our other teams yesterday, both of my teams, it was a moment in time for me yesterday, an absolute moment in time.
DNS1.
TNS.
What I'm saying is the moment Ahmed Diallo scored the game winner against City for United is the exact same moment that Lamar Jackson threw a dart to Mark Andrews for the Ravens go-ahead touchdown.
Sorry.
What do you want, Philip?
Did you just say United versus City? Because Diallo doesn't play for Newcastle United because we beat Leicester City. So if we're going to use like these terms to put at the end, like, can we actually talk properly? Because there's more than one United and there's more than one City. They play in blue.
You that is hated, adored, never ignored. You know this.
You're a bunch of scum. I'll say it.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny you say that when Manchester United are literally in the bracket of mid-table obscurity.
Yeah,
okay, Billy Bear. I'll take a win against them whenever we can get it.
Hey, it's still better than my Patriots at the moment, so I don't really care.
That's not hard, as I said. Big Rock Titans better than the Patriots at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Let's take us away.
Yeah, so let's roll on to games from the weekend. And yeah, we're not going to talk about the game because it was a tie game, the Rams against the Niners. 12-6 Rams played out. There's a moment that happened midway through the third quarter where a player has had his feelings hurt and decided he doesn't play football anymore. Gentlemen, take me away or take us away. Take me away as well. But
So, Devondre Campbell, let's talk about this.
yes.
So, from what I understand, I didn't want to stay up to watch the game, from what I understand, Dre Greenlaw needed to sit out a bit because it was his first game back.
Yeah.
So, Devondre Campbell was told to get ready to go into the game, and instead just went back to the locker room.
Yeah. I've seen players going, yeah, that's poor excuse. It's really poor. As their own teammates going, yeah, you can't do that. You're part of the circuit. You get in there and play for the team. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, I think it was George Kittle that says, I've never been around this before, and I never think I'll be around it again.
No. Mr. Paynes, what do you make of it? And then we'll talk about how we would have dealt with it in our playing days.
So it's. I don't get the mental. I guess I'm very much still in the mindset of like what Kittle said and what Javarius Ward has said as well. That's not pretend for a fact that he doesn't have an issue. So he doesn't have a history with being problematic in the locker room. Okay, he was rumored to be quite difficult when he was in Green Bay. He wasn't even the 49ers preferred pick out of like the free agency linebackers. He was kind of more of like he's the only one that's now available. Let's pick him up for the sake of picking up. He hasn't particularly had a great season anyway. I don't think he was going to be kept around past this year. And for him to come out and do that, I mean, let's be honest. Yes, Greenlaw came back in, and then he obviously had to sit out a wee bit. But is he honestly suggesting that he's better than Greenlaw? Because Greenlaw was phenomenal. Like our linebacker core was, with Warner and Greenlaw back, we literally massively controlled that defensive side. So I'm not even saying that he's even good enough to actually start over Greenlaw. So what was his whole thing like? He knew he would be starting the season or coming into the season being, eventually benched for Greenlaw when he came back. So now that it's happened, I don't understand because he's not exactly played his arse off to actually warrant being in this position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my issue is who does he think he is? Like he knew that he was just keeping that position warm.
Yeah.
Until Greenlaw got back, like he knew that. So what do you think? We're just going to totally change our defense so we could accommodate him and Greenlaw? Like we tried to get Eric Kendricks. Eric Kendricks agreed to come to the Niners, and then changed his mind.
No, so he didn't agree then.
Well, no, like he like
momentarily agreed.
Yeah, in that 2-day period between when you can start talking to players and they actually sign, he changed his mind and went to the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's worked out well.
How's that working out for him exactly?
I mean, I say that the Cowboys currently have a better record than we do, so I should probably shut up.
sorry, that is funny.
Right, Shayna, what do you make of it? Before, like me and parents do, like player-wise and football and coaching-wise, what do you make of it?
The thing is, he's in a very privileged position. There's millions, if not billions, of people out there that would kill to be a professional sportsman in a massive, massive club in the biggest league in the world of this sport. So, firstly, I think it speaks to his professionalism. But then also, you don't know, like, you say that they picked him up in free agency, so he's been there since the start of the season.
Yeah.
So you don't know, like, if he's sort of, I know some people don't gel on teams. There's attitude issues. There's, he's probably thinking, I don't like half of these people anyway, sort of thing. So he's just playing for his money. And then when things got too much for him, he probably just knocked it on the head and thought, nah, I don't want to do this no more. At the end of the day, that's going to impact him leaving. If he leaves the Niners, which he probably will, impact his next team and his next team and his next team. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a black mark on his career for the rest of his career.
I don't think he's going to get an X team.
Exactly, if he even does.
Yeah. If you're going to do this, do it in like a game when you're buried on like Fox's 6th string, not in front of the whole country on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, it's an idiot move.
Losing.
Obviously, myself and Mr. P have played the sport. How would you have gone about it when you played for the Royals? How would you have gone about it if a player gone, no, I'm not going. What would you and your team done?
Well, I think in the moment, like, I mean, that's never actively happened to us, but like when there's been a player that's gone down or they haven't gone back in for various reasons, you just kind of you readjust mentally, especially on the offensive side, where you just go, all right then, I can't think about that now. I've got 30 seconds till the next play happens. I need to get into what I need to do to make sure that we're in the best position to go forward. And then, so like in the moment, you just go, all right, then I don't necessarily give a toss about what's going on here. I need to make sure what's happening now, because just because it's happening off the field doesn't mean the play's stopping on the field, if that makes sense. Because as it would have gone down, are you telling me that the players that are on the field at that time would know that's happening? Or would they be then reacting when they hear it? Because, you know, they might be expecting Campbell to come back in, but then somebody else runs in and you go like, oh, he's not coming in. So you just react to how it's going. I think in post, when you have that downtime, when you're warming down, when you're in the locker room, when you have maybe half an hour to think about it, you do go like, sorry, like he's not a teammate. And I'm not saying that I would go after him, but I would be quite confrontational in talking to him about, well, why? Like, that's ridiculously selfish. You potentially led us down like a really, really slippery slope, or you know, somebody's had to like, you know, play out of the position or come back from an injury. So you do get quite confrontational, especially if it ends in a loss as well. That's when you get very heated over it, because you kind of go, yes, the team lost, but I'm going to direct all of my hatred towards you because you quit on us. You literally quit on us. We didn't quit on you. You quit on us. When things got tough, you decided that we weren't worth it. And that's the kind of an attitude that you kind of bring towards that person. And ultimately you do, whether or not it's not that you would forcibly get rid of somebody, but you do socially cut them off. Like, you treat them differently in training. You treat them differently when you're communicating. Yeah, like the choice of language that you use if you're in the huddle, if they're still coming up training, is different. You, like, you know, I've mentioned before, not quite the same situation, but you know, when there was a quarterback that was the number one quarterback when I started playing for the Royals, he was universally hated. Like, he was not liked on offense and defense. But I don't want to say it online just because it might get back to him. But he wasn't.
Ooh, what's he gonna do? Lay your tires down.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, he's not gonna be on Facebook, so it's like I give a toss about him. But either way, I just don't want. But like, he was hated. He was absolutely hated, and because he was hated, we didn't respect him. We didn't really try to block for him during games. Even in training, we would let the defenders come through to go at him. You know, even though he's red-shirted, we just hated his guts because he treated us all like trash, and we're supposed to be his teammates. So, and that's the quarterback that we didn't respect. And I think I've mentioned this before as well. If you don't like someone that you're playing with, it kind of alters how you play for them, especially in a position like a quarterback. Now, I'm saying like a linebacker, you know, you expect your linebackers to be, you know, your generals essentially on the pitch. Like, if you think about, you know, the defensive line are kind of like your trenchmen, your linebackers are like, you know, your grenadiers. You know, they're the ones that you're calling the shots so often, like your captains. And if they're walking out on you, you do treat them differently. You are quite hostile towards them, and it would affect my attitude towards them, you know, going forwards. I'm not saying like I would look to throw a punch or anything, because I wasn't that type of player to my teammates, but he would know that I didn't like him, and he would know that I wouldn't respect him again.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, exactly that. I mean, I'd probably be a little bit more less diplomatic than you are towards him.
We know
the thing is as well, I was also a captain, so I had to really mind my mouth about how I would conduct myself.
Yeah,
like,
I really wasn't. I mean,
so I was made captain in my freshman year, and I was captain for all 3 years that I was at the Royals. And I was a little bit. Huh?
Did I have a big C on your jersey?
I did. Yeah. It was a C next to a UNT as well.
There you go.
For like uniform and national, and you know, member tie. Anyway, so I was a little bit more not balanced per se, because I was you know, a bit of an arsehole, but like, or to like, you know, the opposite, but like to my team, you know, you essentially, attitude reflects leadership, and you know, you kind of have to, if you've got like a mantra that you want for the team, you have to kind of like enforce it when someone comes out. And I think that's comes out as horrible for me to say. If somebody comes out as being not a team player, you do have to lay the law down, because it's your team, and one bad apple can spoil it for everybody. We don't want people to just think that, you know, it's you know, it's acceptable to act that way. Like, just look in our football the weekend. last week at the end of the matches, Wolves players were fighting each other. This week at the end of another loss, Wolves players were fighting each other again. And I put on our social media, well, not on our social, but on my social media, attitude reflects leadership. And you generally hear that all the players love Kyle Shanahan. This is why I know he's never going to get sacked from the 49ers. All the players love Shanahan. If you listen to like how Debo or Kittle or Trent or Fred talks about Kyle Shanahan, they love him, and even ex-players want to come back to the 49ers whether or not to socialize. So for this particular player to kind of like ruin that, and the rest of the team going, we don't want him, it makes it different from like, the coaches not want him. The 52 other players don't want him.
Agreed.
And no one's come out to defend him as well. Like, keep this in mind. No one in the organization, no one in the 49ers, no one even on the media side has defended him. Like, no one. Like, and it's kind of, in a way, it's deflected how bad the 49ers were on Thursday because of this. So I'm not saying he's been scapegoated, but it is a bigger story than the 49ers tanking their season.
Yep, baby home.
I was trying to think about this. The only other time I remember this happening was Antonio Brown with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's taken to the extreme. Though he stripped off mid-game.
Yeah, but is there any other example of somebody walking off the field?
Not necessarily walking off the field, but we've seen it with Richardson for the Colts this season. I'm knackered. So
Jimmy Garoppolo refusing to play when he was at the Patriots. Julian Edelman's story.
Because he was injured.
Yeah.
But to actually just like F off in the middle of a game, the only other time I remember that happening is Antonio Brown.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll happily look into like the history of the annals of like the NFL, but like even like someone like me that actually loves those kind of things from like the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s, I don't genuinely recall that ever happening where a player has done that. And I've seen players have fits at their coaches when they've been benched or pulled out of a game because they don't want to be taken out because they don't want to feel like they've been scapegoated, even though it might be for the greater good. Like, I've never seen a player refuse to go in. Like, you don't see that. I mean, even in like our football as well. I mean, I remember the last player that in recent times that refused to come onto the pitch, wasn't it Tevez when he was in was it Ronaldo? I was thinking like Tevez when he was refusing to come off the bench when Mancini tried to get him to play.
No, it was Ronaldo against Ten Hag was going to bring on with like 5 minutes left to play, wasn't it? Shana?
I mean, I also wouldn't want to play.
Ronaldo's second spell with United, yeah.
Firstly, hated, adored, never ignored. Secondly, you haven't got to look any further than Rashford and Garnacho being left out of the matchday squad yesterday because of the attitude.
That's the manager actually showing what to bloody do with people who are a pain in the ass. I mean, I was gonna lead on to that anyway. So obviously myself and Phil are coaches. Okay, Phil American football, flag football, myself in like soccer, our football over here. I've had to deal with a kid who's been disrespectful, and I suspended him. He's suspended for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
because of his attitude. And to be fair to the kid, he's come back the last couple of weeks. He's been a lot better. So it does work. But yeah, it happened, Mr. Harris.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on the back of what you said because from like the coaching point of view. So obviously, like I've been setting up the roles. We've got a really, really good team. We've got quite a lot from like years 8, 9s, 10s, and 11s. Like, it's really, really nice. And to the point now where when we start playing games in the new year against other schools, I actually have a plethora of players that I feel comfortable would be able to, succeed for us. And we had 1 year 10 lad in particular, so 1 year 11 lad in particular, he was really, really good. He was a really, really good receiver, great hands, great trash talker, just everything that I love in a player. And he just stopped coming to training. And I just asked him, like, why didn't you come to? Because I also teach him. It's like, why did you not come to training? It's like, oh yeah, well, don't really want to do training, so I'll come back when they're starting games. And I literally knew there and then, and I said it to him, and I said it to the team when it was brought up as well. I'm not picking him because if you only want to turn up when you think it matters, you're not a team player.
Yep.
So,
100%.
you know, and if he comes back in the new year, which I would love him to, but he'll be coming to training and he will be doing training before I even think about putting him in for a snap or a series. Because I'm not just having a load of superstars that think they can just rock up. Oh, because, you know, we don't have a particularly big team. No, we have a big team now.
Entitled.
Yeah, as I say, like I have in the Royals, our last training session before we broken up, so the Royals, the Titans, sorry, we've got 19 players that want to come and play, and it's 7-a-side flag. So I'll have enough for offense, defense, and some backups. Okay, so it'd be quite nice to like have that kind of thing. So I'm not in a position where I'm begging players to come and play. I have enough players at the moment that I'm very comfortable with. So that kind of attitude of I'll only turn up when it matters. No, I don't want you. I literally don't want you. That ruins. No matter how good you are, I don't want you.
What are the positions for 7-on-7 flag? Like, what are the positions?
So you need to have a center. You need to have a quarterback. Everything else is kind of in flux, where the centers can also receive the ball. So I'm kind of running so I'll have on the 7 side. So I've got my center, and then I'm playing with 2 tackles that are going to be tight ends-ish. Then I've got like a receiver, and I'm playing with a running back as well. So that's kind of what I'm.
There's no alignment.
No, because you can't block, but you can obstruct, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like you can't literally like go shove, 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 shove. But you can stand in the way of a player, and they just have to get round you. You just can't use your hand.
Is there a rule about like not being able to get to the quarterback or something?
So so you have two ways to get into the quarterback. You either declare that you're blitzing to the referee, and you have to be 7 yards away from where the ball is snapped, and you can have a direct one straight at them, or you can go straight up to the ball and then hold yourself for 5 seconds before getting to the quarterback.
Oh,
so the quarterback effectively has like 5 seconds.
Yes, like you would kind of have in the pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, as soon as if the quarterback then crosses the line of scrummage, he becomes live and you can go for him.
Yeah.
So like, as you know, you can kind of like stand there and go like, all right, then quarterback, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go for him. Or as soon as he like, if he tries to scramble out of like the line of scrummage, you can literally go for him, and there's no rules.
Nice.
Obviously, you get like both belts, but yeah.
First time lucky. Okay, Shano, let's kick off Sunday games with your lot. Demolition derby of the New York Giants.
Thank you very much. Yes, of course, my beloved Baltimore Ravens rolled into MetLife Stadium on Sunday evening to take on the blue half of New York, coming out victors 35 points to 14 in must be real. Everyone thought the Ravens were going to win. So much so they were 1-20 on Sky Bet as odds-on favourites. Let me break that down for you for those non-gamblers out there. That would be £20 on to win £21 back. Baby, is that correct?
Yeah, so just to be clear, that's winning £1 and getting your £20 stake, your £20 stake back.
That's how heavily favoured they were. Yeah, MV3 was up to his old tricks again. 5 touchdown passes, 2 for Rashad Bateman, 1 for Devontae Walker, who made his first catch in the NFL. What now?
Did you just call him MV3?
You heard me.
I legit thought you were talking about Marcus Van Der Scamling then.
Oh, no, MV3, because this will be the 3rd time he wins the MVP award. But I digress. Anyway, so yeah, Devontae Walker's first catch in the NFL resulted in a touchdown. And as I said previously, the aforementioned Mark Andrews catch. And it's one of the very few games Derrick Henry was pretty much ineffectual. 14 rushing attempts for 67 yards, not one of his better games. But as I said, Lamar Jackson played brilliantly. The Giants scored 2 touchdowns, one in the second quarter, one in the fourth quarter. Devin Singletary, rumbled from quite close in to get the first points on the board for the Giants. And then Malik Neighbors made a cracking catch from, it wasn't even Tommy Cutlets. No, it was Tim Boyle. Because Tommy Cutlets was taken out, injured again.
Concussion.
So yeah, they are concussion exactly. They are right down to their very, very bare bones. Yeah, so Tim Boyle didn't look too bad, but as I said, this was the first game back after the bye for the Ravens. It was a supposed to win. Let's be fair. Everyone thought they were going to, and they did. They didn't didn't play down to the Giants. Giants now 2-12. Ravens now 9-5. But this is where it becomes interesting. Down to the last 3 games in the AFC North, For the Ravens, it is those horrible towel twirling. Can I say bastards
People.
now? Bastards
No.
on Sunday.
No, you're not allowed to swear
Well, Phil
anymore.
swore several times.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, he didn't.
Didn't you?
No.
Whatever.
I
Okay,
literally,
fine.
I have this amazing skill of being a teacher for 10 years to not allow myself to swear when like I'm thinking children under the age of 16 are listening.
It begins with A, ends with E, and I think it's got about 6 letters in the middle of it. But I digress. So yeah, this is pretty much nut cutting time in the AFC North. As I said, the Ravens will play the Steelers this Sunday, the Texans Christmas Day, and the Bengals to finish the season off. The Steelers have again the Ravens this coming Sunday, and then after that they have the Kansas City Chiefs, and I forget who they have the last game of the season. Why?
Let's go Pittsburgh.
Why? Right? So yeah, as I said, for those of you who are listening on Spotify, let me just direct you above me to Baby Hope, who's twirling that stupid towel around again. So just set it on fire.
He's still yet to put us the link in the chat for us to buy one.
Someone tell me who the Steelers' last game of the season is, please.
Football.
I don't know how much about them.
Just a quick PSA. The Houston Texans, if you've not been Christmas shopping for me yet, just beat the Ravens.
Cincy.
Oh, so I thought we had the Bengals last.
No, Cincy.
Oh, that's
Right.
Sorry, just because how much attention I'm paying. I'm finished yet. Oh, sorry, it's the Browns. It's the Browns. I apologize. So the Ravens' last 3 games are the Steelers, the Texans, and the Browns. I think maximum points, to be fair, as a slightly biased observer.
There's
And
no
then,
chance of beating Pittsburgh.
That's what it comes down to. We
Yeah,
beat them,
yeah.
right? Yeah, that's what it comes down to. And then they go play the Chiefs after that.
Chiefs probably without Patrick Mahomes.
Well, we can move on to that fairly shortly. But as I said, I think the Ravens are in with a hell of a chance of winning the North.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for that. You can have your show back now.
Just quickly, you called Lamar Jackson MP3. He's not going to win the MVP. But if he does, at least he can win another home playoff game. He's allowed then. But just the one.
Right. Cowboys, in one of our prediction games, Cowboys at the Panthers. Chosen by Mr. Harris this week.
Thank you.
Detroit have found their run game, or was it just really bad run defense by Carolina?
You mean Dallas, not Detroit?
Yes, that as well. Dallas found their run
I
game.
know Rico Dowdle's looked pretty good the past couple of weeks.
But they're ranked 30th in the NFL in their run game, in rush per yards per game. Dallas. They've been really, really poor.
Yeah, but Rico Dowdle seems to have found his proverbial mojo.
Yeah, it's amazing how, Cooper Rush has probably looked the best he looked in his 3 starts. He went 18 for 29 for 214 yards with 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Bryce Young looked like he regressed a little bit. The news comes out that they're convinced with him by now they're not going to go for a quarterback or anything like that. They are going to go for a defensive edge, which is interesting. What do we make of that, gentlemen?
James Pierce-Jones.
From... where's he from? Ohio.
Why
James
do you think James Pierce Jr.? Why do you think I brought him up, Ollie?
Oh,
Where do you think
God,
he's from?
Tennessee. Is he involved?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I don't know. I've been watching more O linemen this year than anyone else. I like Calvin Banks out of Texas Longhorns. Really like him. Yeah. Jalen Coker back first time from IR, touchdown, 83 yards. You did call that your player of the week, but then changed it.
No, I didn't change it. I changed it to that.
I changed it to that, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, spoiler for Thursday's show.
Yeah, I was talking to a mate of mine. Who hasn't blocked us?
All right, Victor. Jesus.
Like I said,
Just a quick sidebar. Don't start now. Just a quick sidebar very, very quickly while I remember. The amount of stick that we've given Mr. Perrins for his new haircut. he's finally accepting the fact that it looks good on him. Isn't that right, my old buddy?
Yeah, mate. I actually, because I've had a
told
chance to look at that, so like I've spiced it up a wee bit, and yeah, it's alright. Like obviously, I miss the hair, but like it's at this point now where I can actually do stuff with it, and I'm not overly hating it. And you know, by the time I see you for GCW, mate, it's going to be a lot longer.
I can't wait, boy. I can't wait. Not long now.
I
1 month,
literally
1
can't
month.
wait. You know, I can't wait. I can't wait for them to do like the big fatal four-way for all the different canes, like cocaine, game, blue
Okay.
cane, candy cane.
There's
Like,
going to be enough about our social life. OBH, sorry, continue. I do apologize.
Yeah. So Dallas ran out 30-14 win against Carolina Panthers in the end. I'm going to have to edit that bit out. Thank you very much.
What?
Yeah, 30-14 to the Dallas Cowboys. Let's roll on to our next prediction game quickly. Is the Chargers. Them got demolished by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This was a shock. We all went LA to win at home, but Tampa balled out. Mike Evans, 2 touchdowns, 159 yards. Outstanding play. Baker Mayfield got lucky, didn't get picked off, but brilliant.
He
117 yards.
He did get one pick.
Yeah, but he was lucky not to get another one. Mike Evans turned into DB.
Yeah.
What do we make of that game, gentlemen?
Well, yeah, like you said, it was really it was a very surprising result, and not just the result, the margin of the result too. I mean, 40-17.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Justin Herbert, but he was playing like he was in his rookie season when he had Brandon Staley as his coach.
Wow, that's
I think the fact that the Chargers have basically pinched a lot of former Ravens players. Now they're suffering the same fate as the Ravens did when they had those players. Point I'm making is J.K. Dobbins out. Gus Edwards virtually ineffectual, 23 yards all game. You know, they're suffering the same curse that we had for all those years. And yeah, Baker threw for 4 touchdowns as well. Mike Evans got 2. Mike Evans is class. I'm a big fan of Mike Evans. Jalen McMillan got 1 and Roddy White got the other as well. Yeah, it was... Lad McConkey scored again for the Chargers. Again,
first touchdown in 2 months.
But he's still good. He's still been he's been there WR1. And for a rookie to do that, take on that mantle, it's a hell of an achievement. Even Quentin Johnson got on the board. But he was a reincarnation of Kadarius Toney. But yeah, fair play to him. He threw one in on Sunday. Good for him.
To be fair, Quentin Johnson's had a much better season this season than he did his rookie
sophomore season. Yeah.
I feel like people aren't giving him as much credit as he deserves.
Definitely. Right. Shane, Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Over to you, my friend.
No. I didn't. You know, I went to bed. I'm not watching now. I was watching inside of my eyes.
Do you want to talk about Pittsburgh losing? I thought you'd want that.
I'm happy with the result. Don't get me wrong. But as I said, I can't bring myself to watch them. It's like watching Liverpool. I can't do it. Buzzing.
So Philadelphia, they found their passing game this week. I don't know what happened to Saquon Barkley. He was very ineffective there. He sat out for a lot of the second quarter.
Did I really find that they didn't score a touchdown? Is that right?
They didn't score. The Jalen Hurts scored a rushing touchdown.
Maybe they didn't score a passing touchdown. I thought I heard something that they didn't score a touchdown.
He scored 2 passing touchdowns. AJ Brown got 1 and Devontae Smith got 1. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith both went over 100 yards for the first time this season. They both went over 100 yards for the first time in a game in the same season this season. Obviously, they had all the anger and all the AJ Brown wasn't happy that it's a run first offense and all this. But Jalen Hurts has come out and gone, we've just got a plan to get on going out for the win. That's what we've gone and done. And fair play. Fair play. What may help Shane is TJ Watt is got a low ankle sprain. Not a high, a low.
We like that.
That might help you this week. What else do we make of this game, gentlemen? Mr. Perrin sat down there quietly in the corner.
I'm just doing something related. Can you repeat the question?
Well, you make the Eagles Steelers game, my friend.
Yeah. So Eagles Steelers, it is a game that I didn't really follow last night. So, but didn't I say that I thought the Steelers would win, and they blatantly didn't. They got turned over quite easily. So Eagles are in the postseason mode already. They're just kind of like trying to see if they can actually catch up to Detroit now for possibly the number 1 seed. And they are playing like they're ready for a playoff berth. I think, they look really, really good. The Steelers kind of looked a little bit dogged, like they didn't really look like they were up for the game. Just looking from the highlights from earlier. Again, I've only seen the compressed YouTube highlights. But Jalen Hurts looked phenomenal. Like if I wasn't going to pick Jared Allen as my player of the week, Jalen Hurts looked really, really good. And I'm starting to think now.
You picking who? Jared Allen. Didn't even tell you years ago.
I think he means Josh Allen.
Oh my God. I mean, I can still pick the cowboy. That's absolutely fine. He actually had the best retirement video ever. Like he was just on a horse and he just drove off. That was quality.
Jared Allen.
Best retirement video ever is Julian Edelman's.
Oh, what a surprise.
Well, no, actually, the best retirement one was Colin Kaepernick because he just took a knee and then he never turned up again.
That was the end of it.
That was probably the actually Antonio Brown's was a good one as well. Like him just like high stepping and like doing star jumps down to the crowd, really showing it, giving it large. I respect that more actually.
If Devondre Campbell had done that.
I think he's over now as it is. So
actually, you know what? If you would have done like was it Randy Moss that did the whole like pretend to pull his trousers down in the end zone? Was it Randy Moss or Tio?
No, I can't remember who it was.
Do you know which one I'm talking about? Like where he goes up to like the fans and he literally goes to pretend to pull his trousers down and like moons them.
I do know what you're talking about, but I can't remember who it was.
That was either Randy Moss or Tio.
You mentioned Randy Moss. We want to send the Burn Long want to send our prayers and wishes to Randy Moss, who has a speedy recovery from this.
Yes,
horrible
one of the absolute greats. He is literally on the Mount Rushmore of greatest wide receivers. He is undoubtedly,
and probably on Mount Rushmore for one of the nicest blokes ever to play American football as well.
Yeah, I mean, I loved him when he. I know he was only on the 49ers for one season, and he was like our third choice wide receiver. Like I love when we had Randy Moss, like in that Super Bowl berth. Like I thought he was quality.
I feel really bad we let him down by not giving him a ring. We were 16-0 all the way to the Super Bowl, and we lost the Super Bowl to the Giants. You evil people.
Was that helmet catch year?
No, that was actually it was helmet catch year. Yeah.
David Tyree.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Not been that much today, is he?
We built this as game of the week going into Sunday Night Football. It ended up being game of the week. You had 13 touchdowns. 12 touchdowns, sorry. Can't count. Over 850 yards of passing. Over 230 yards of rushing. This was a game for the offense. I mean, there's not a lot of Detroit defense left for them to have a defense, but this was a game and a half, gentlemen. An absolute game and a half.
Combined total of 90 points. 90 points between the two teams.
You said it yourself, over 1,100 yards of offense, over 90 points, 12 touchdowns. I mean, I want to say it was a shootout, but a lot of Buffalo's points was rushing.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a game for the offense. And Josh Allen, as usual, looked absolutely phenomenal. If he doesn't win MVP, then this league is scripted.
He is not.
I want to marry Lamar Jackson, but
look at this now. Speaking from the guy that sleeps in Nick Bosa pajamas.
But if Josh Allen doesn't win MVP this year, this league is scripted.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like it would be a bigger injustice that Ashton Genty did not win the Heisman.
Yeah, we know it's scripted. We know this. It was scripted last year.
if it was scripted, mate, the Lions wouldn't have 17 players on IR. Is their Super Bowl done for the year?
No.
No, not yet.
I'm looking at Mr. Perrin's face going, he's pulling something, he's thinking. And I'm always worried when he starts thinking.
Yeah, you see the smoke come out of his ears.
I feel like
I'm just thinking like, no, not yet.
Okay, on defense, this is who they've got on IR. Aiden Hutchinson. Ellen McNeil's going on IR today. Derek Barnes. Alex Anzalone. Anzalone going on IR. Colton Davis is going on IR with a broken jaw. The backup safety, Malafonu, he's going on IR. The backup corner, Rakestraw Jr. is going on IR. Nate Lynn on IR. Wingo's on IR. John Kamushi's on IR. Obviously, Bradley's been on IR all season as well, but Jake Bates is probably going to get the starting job when they're back there anyway. And on defense, David Montgomery on offense. So David Montgomery's going on IR today.
Yeah, but they have Jameer Gibbs to pick up that slack.
Yeah, but you can't. The one good thing about Detroit on their running game is right. Bang, 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 Montgomery. Okay, he can come out for a drive. Gibbs, bang, 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 bang. You're now expecting Gibbs to double his workload, and I don't think he's going to be as effective.
Sometimes Sonic the Hedgehog has to take the load off Knuckles. It's just Sega's.
Should be the other way around. But then also at the same time, don't you want to have Tails that you can get the ball to in the air as well?
Isn't that St.
Brown?
All right, so the thing is, what bodes well for the Detroit Lions, especially from the last couple of weeks, is that they are like a juggernaut in terms of how much they can put on the board. I mean, like even though they lost this week against any other opposition, they would have won that game. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, if they weren't playing Josh Allen and they were playing, let's have a look.
Patriots.
If they were playing the Rams, they would have won. If they played the 49ers, they would have won. If they played the Chiefs, they would have won. They would have beaten the Browns. They would have beaten the Bengals. They would have beaten the Titans. They would have beaten the Commanders. They would have beaten the Saints. They would have beaten the Ravens, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Panthers, the Jets, the Jaguars.
Are you going to name every team?
Yeah, because they literally outscore most, if not every single team, every single week. Now, keep in mind, okay, they lost to Josh Allen. Josh Allen is on his chosen 1 year. Like, he is the Jeff Jarrett. He is the chosen one, okay? Nice. He is going to get that Super Bowl ring and that MVP to just basically make it just a phenomenal year for him. I'm locked in on Josh Allen winning the Super Bowl this year, okay? But the Lions are not a bad team. So the offense side, brilliant. The defense side, that's where I think the concerns are going to be. Now, if your game plan going into the postseason is, we'll just outscore everyone. And teams have won Super Bowls purely from just being able to just outscore everyone because their defense isn't that solid. Not throwing it out there, but the 81 Raiders, okay? They literally couldn't stop a cold. But their offense, and with the other Allen, Marcus Allen in 83. Marcus Allen was running back, by the way, a Hall of Fame running back, amazing player, one of the best ever. Yeah. Marcus Allen literally just ran the ball. He was just this unstoppable running back that year in 83. Okay, so you can win it that way. Now, obviously, Dan Campbell is not a simpleton. He is not an idiot. I think maybe him wearing that provocative T-shirt as he enters the stadium yesterday did him no favors, but he is not a simpleton. He will kind of go into into the postseason, because that's where the Lions are going, and make those relevant adjustments. Now, whether or not that's enough with the personnel that he has, that's a different story. But this is not a team that is done. Yes, the injuries are ridiculously high, but at the same time, they are 12-2. And it wasn't long ago where we were saying at one point they were the best team in pro football.
Just
keep it on. It was just a couple of, and this was post losing the likes of Aiden Hutchinson and the rest of their defense. So I still think they're one of the top teams. I definitely think they are if there's 4 teams that are, firing on all cylinders, well, not even, I don't think the Chiefs are firing on all cylinders, but like the 4 top teams at the moment, you got like the Chiefs, the Lions, the Eagles, and the Bills. Okay, yeah, sorry, I was getting there. Those are your top teams. So you kind of get a vibe where if the NFC Championship is going to be Lions, Eagles, which we think it is, and we think the AFC Championship is going to be Bills and Chiefs, like we think it's going to be, they kind of already have a feel of each other because they've already played each other this year already.
Yeah,
that's my rundown.
You patiently had your hand up.
So I want to talk about the onside kick with 12 minutes to go.
Go for it.
I'm not sure that was a best call from Dan Campbell.
I think it was taken from the Sean Payton playbook.
But you can't do that anymore because you have to declare that you're going to do an onside kick.
Yeah. So it can only be done in the fourth quarter when you're losing.
So for me, I think that was overly aggressive.
I can see why.
I just want to know what you guys think because I do see the point, but I just don't think it was the right call.
I think they should change it again. I hate how a lot of the onside kicks and the kickoffs are going at the moment. It's not creating the hype that I think it was going to do at the beginning of the year. I don't know. I'm just not that interested in it. Like, sorry.
I don't like the onside kick, and I think how Shane won't know because he's Welsh and he doesn't like rugby because he's strange like that. But when they do kick off at rugby, I think that's how they should doing the kickoff. The kick starts. It's more central. You're going to get more action straight away, and there's more challenges. And if that's they think about taking different things. The brotherly shove. That's come from rugby with the roll, the muck and roll, rocking,
rock and roll.
That's it. That's from that.
Sounds ridiculous.
Why not bring other things in? Like the kick. You've got more rugby players coming into the sport now. Mailata, who's the Eagles, is a superb rugby player. Reece Sammett's coming in. You've got the Aussie guy coming in now as well in DIPP. You've got rugby players wanting to play the sport. Bring a bit of rugby into it, like the kicks. I think that could work it a long way. Personally, that might help the kickoff, especially with the onside. Because I do agree, the onside is crap. It doesn't do any favors. It's very, very, very rare that the kicking team actually get the ball.
There's only one time this year I can remember an onside kick working.
That's one more than I can.
The Vikings-Bears game.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I can remember that now. I can. Right. Let's roll through the rest of the week's games. As we've mentioned a couple of times, we might have some hope of a non-Chiefs three-peat as Mahomes goes down in the last 5 minutes of the game against the Browns. The Chiefs run out 21-7 win over Cleveland.
I'm not smiling. You're smiling.
Jameis Winston is back to his picking best, shall we say.
He got benched, didn't he?
Yeah, he got benched for DTR, which is interesting. Talk about the quarterbacks who got benched. Will Levis also got benched for Mason Rudolph as the Bengals keep their slim playoffs at home.
That was just Callahan trying to get in the Christmas spirit, though, wasn't it, really?
Yeah. With a 37-27 win over the Tennessee Titans. Commanders got away one. They blew away a 14-point lead to the Saints, but the Saints went for a 2-point conversion at the very end and missed it.
Overly aggressive again.
Yeah, to be fair, we said a lot of the season teams should be going for it if they're going to win, especially in this situation. Yeah, go for it. Jets for the Jags turned out to be a reasonably decent game, to be fair, at the end. Devontae Adams having his 100th touchdown in career. Mac Jones threw 2 interceptions.
I'd love to know how many of those receptions are from not Aaron Rodgers.
I think probably about 7.
I'd be surprised if it was that high.
Yeah, well, I'm going to Google that. Ollie's permission for the Dolphins to beat the Texans went wrong. as Texans beat the Dolphins 20.
Only because
um,
Tua Tagovailoa decided to join Jameis Winston in the bakery.
I mean,
Nice.
Derek Singletary, what a pick that second one was to win the game for him. Brilliant. Yeah, my lot lost. We are shocking. The defense is shocking. We've not learned anything. We've not improved. Yeah, rolling on to the Bills next week. I'm gonna cry in my sleep. Kyler Murray put on a show. He was superb, to be fair. Him and James Conner were absolutely brilliant. And Trey McBride. Trey McBride. He's had 100 receptions and yet scored a receiving touchdown this season.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know,
That's
right?
crazy.
The Cardinals beat us 30-17. And then last night, the Green Bay Packers beat the Seahawks.
Did you talk about the Colts versus the Broncos?
No, I missed that one. I'll get back to that in a minute. The Packers beat the Seahawks 30-13. Geno Smith's gone down with a knee injury that could be their season over and done with there as well. They wore that beautiful lime green kit that Seattle have, which I absolutely love that kit. It's probably one of my favorites.
You coming in the dark.
Yeah. Despite Bo Nix having probably his worst game in the NFL, his short NFL career, the Denver Broncos keep their playoff hopes alive with a 31-13 win over the Indianapolis Colts.
The Jonathan Taylor did that. I'll drop the ball celebrating before I actually make it into the end zone.
Yes. Yeah. Cheers to that.
Luckily, and the fact is, he's not even the first one to do it this season because the Jets player did it earlier in the season.
A Jags player nearly did it. Was literally a millimeter from not doing it. Luckily hopefully that Jonathan Taylor play hasn't cost me a chance to get into my Super Bowl or one of my other fantasy leagues.
It helped with my ACCA, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Don't speak to me about ACCAs, but two teams will be down this week, the Chargers and the Panthers. Cheers for that.
Well, then clearly you're betting on the wrong teams then.
Well, if somebody would help me out, since they're hoarding all the money for himself, Scrooge McDuck.
Mate, you're a pundit. You should know well enough to be able to build a 5-team ACCA.
Pundit. Oh, thank you.
Right. As always, head over to Fantasy Game Day app to put your teams in this week. Download from your app store.
I want some money on that too this week.
Use our promo code THIRD to get yourself up to £7.50 worth of free gaming by when you put your first lineup into the app. That is Fantasy Game Day app, and use the promo code THIRD. Gentlemen, tonight's games. There is 2 games tonight.
I really don't like them having 2 Monday Night Football games.
No,
just to start.
What annoying is you've got 2 primetime games tonight, and not one of them's Bills Lions, and not one of them is Steelers Eagles. You've got Bears going to the Vikings.
Well, I mean that is a primetime game because divisional and these teams do not like each other.
Vikings win. They tie with Detroit at the top of the North. Then you got the Falcons, who are on the back end of a 4-game losing streak, going to the Max Crosby-less Las Vegas Raiders. What are we saying, gentlemen?
Vikings and Falcons.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
go Vikings and Raiders. Kirk Cousins doesn't win on primetime.
That's true.
Who's even passing for the Raiders? Who's fit?
It's Desmond Ridder, isn't it?
It looks like it's Ridder.
Desmond Ridder's revenge game for the Falcons.
Well, that's interesting. There you go. There's a storyline. Ready-made storyline for prime time.
To be fair, right, Kirk Cousins has thrown 15 touchdowns this season. He's thrown 15 interceptions. He is having, I would say, an MVP year, but yeah, it's definitely not. He's been shocking.
Yeah.
These past 4 weeks, he's been really, really poor. It's almost like that injury's now caught up with him. Shane?
I say we just put Penix in.
Based upon what you just said, with regards to Kirk's current form, do you think we'll have a Michael Penix Jr. sighting tonight?
No.
Possibly.
Still no? I think they could beat this Raiders team in their sleep without Crosby. We don't know who's on the centre for Ridder. I still got Falcons. To be fair, they could play anybody and the centre, and I think they'd still beat them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Kirk Cousins this year. He's been really, really poor.
But then we might be seeing the genuine aftermath of him really not being essentially still ready from his injury last year, because he had a horrible injury that destroyed him. Let's keep that as it is. Yep. He's coming back from that. He's also in a new situation where they brought him in and then they drafted his replacement. So we've got that as well. He's in a new environment, new set of players. All these little things that when you slowly add up, you could potentially go, yeah, I could see, why it's not working for him, because even in recent years, Russell Wilson going to Denver, car crash, didn't work for him.
Yeah.
He'd gone to somewhere else. Pittsburgh, similar scheme. He was brought into play a very similar way to how he was in Seattle, and they're getting the best out of him in that environment. Kirk Cousins is in a new environment, new coaching schemes, new players. He's then gone in and go like, do they actually want me because they've just drafted my replacement with their first pick of the draft? Like, what is actually going on here? So there's a lot of things going, and also age. He's older than me, like Kirk Cousins.
36.
Yeah, he's older than me. Like, he's older than half of the hosts of this podcast. Okay, so we can kind of see then that maybe Father Time, who is still undefeated, is kind of like on his comeback tour. Like, we see the likes of Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins, like the elder statesmen of the league, are starting to slow down. There's going to be a time in the next couple of years, guys, where they're not going to be playing anymore, and it's going to hit us pretty weirdly.
Matt Stafford's another one.
Exactly.
Kirk Cousins has thrown more interceptions than anyone else. Just going to put it out there.
Kirk does seem like a really nice guy, so I hope it does work out for him if Atlanta.
He's 3 years younger than me and looks like my dad. That's awful.
Hold on. Can we put that to bed? Because I distinctly remember him saying that when RG3 went down with like his career-ending injury and Kirk Cousins was brought in, he did say it was God's will.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Do you not know that? He literally said that him coming into the Washington Redskins at that point was God's will. God willed him to be a starting quarterback. And he said that not long after RG3 went down.
They were drafted in the same year.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, RG was drafted, he was top 5, wasn't he? Was he one overall?
RG was drafted top 5. Kirk Cousins was
3rd or 4th, wasn't he?
Late day 2.
So that, yeah, but like, if you look into it, and I'm not here to bash him, and like I said, there's sometimes where I go, oh, he actually seems like a decent guy, and then I always go back to what he said when he became starting quarterback, that it was God's will. I went like, read the room, Kirk.
Yeah, bad timing. And I mean, our good friend Bolden and Big Fella uses as they lead the show. Their end out is his phrase of, "Do you like that? Do you like that?" And that's what he is known for. That and his missus picking out his clothes.
And the fact he didn't know how to swag surf until this year. But
no, true.
I don't know what that is. What is that? With the new kids saying,
so just YouTube it, Shane.
I'm done with the kids.
Don't YouTube it because you'll come up with some dodgy stuff, like Mr. P.
Don't call him dodgy.
Yeah, I can't do that as teacher. Are we giving the Bears any hope against Minnesota?
No, they lost to the Niners, who were atrocious.
Yes, they are. I don't know. See, like, what Caleb Williams are we going to get? We all went into the season with high expectations for this Bears team, and we thought they were going to be dark horses for a deep playoff run. They proved us wrong. But then again, as I said, Caleb has showed flashes of what the Bears saw in him to draft him first. And this elite offense, because I think it's a really good offense still, regardless of what we've seen. Like, which one's going to show up? I still got Vikings, but as I said, which Bears are going to show up? Go on, baby.
I just sincerely hope that whoever the Bears bring in as their next head coach can actually develop Caleb Williams into the quarterback we all want.
Yeah, they
And we
need
all
that.
thought they got. And I really, really hope that does happen for them. But right now, can somebody tell me who the head coach is?
Bears now?
No.
Pass.
I mean,
The
No.
offensive coordinator that got promoted to offensive coordinator like 3 weeks ago. Him. I
so
just don't think he's good enough as a head coach to give the Vikings much trouble and Brian Flores' defense any trouble.
no, that
Agreed.
was awesome. Just going to go some breaking news here. Sacramento State are in discussions to hire former Pro Bowl quarterback Mike Vick as a new head
Michael
coach.
Vick, that
Big
guy. That guy on Madden 04 was a cheat code.
Cheat code. Absolute cheat code, wasn't he? I remember it. I remember it well.
Schefter tweeted that about 15 minutes ago, so we'll retweet it in a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Just quickly briefly about Michael Vick before we move on. Anyone know what his favorite film is? Anyone know?
Dog Day Out. Straw Dogs. Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
I was gonna go with Snatch. Do you like dogs?
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
On that unclassy, yeah,
Unfunny note.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said earlier on, please head over to Fantasy Game Day app and use our promo code for your first team lineup to get a free little surprise back from them. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back on your screens 8:30 Thursday night. This podcast will be downloadable tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, good night and stay safe all.